lynching folks wasn't the cattle barons' only scheme. They used every underhanded trick in the book. The law looked the other way while they'd drive thousands of cattle onto a small rancher's grazing land to drink the water holes dry and starve the herd. We were losing our rights, our wealth, and our ability to keep our livestock healthy. They had put us between a rock and, a hard place. Since we couldn't get protection from the law, we turned to the outlaws. Our ranch sat right on the notorious outlaw trail, a network of hideouts and message drops where you could quietly provision or change horses. I couldn't find fault with the outlaws. They seemed like folks who found life too hard. In a valley turning dangerous, our ranch was a refuge. The notorious wild bunch hid out in our barns. So often they became like family. You might even say Big Cattle was to blame for the outlaws in the first place. So Ann and I grew up on that ranch, hobnobbing with outlaws, while the threat of big cattle served as the constant background to our lives. We were a strange mix of refined boarding school girls and tough-as-nails ranchers. When my mama passed away suddenly at 37, everything changed. With Papa and his books, I found myself at 18 running the ranch. Even as the weight of the family fell onto my shoulders with Isom and Matt, I felt like things would be okay. But the cattle barons saw this as a perfect time to squeeze us out. The maverick laws had just passed, and cowboys from those outfits were set to harassing us and spying. It was a time of cut fences, burned barns, and constant violence. They underestimated us. Ann and I weren't about to roll over. We proudly united all the local ranchers into a group for protection and legal advice, which we called the Browns Park Cattle Association, and we made Matt Rash the president. It was our way of saying we weren't going anywhere without a fight. To this day, I sorely regret my lack of foresight. The big ranchers' response was swift and deadly. They hired a range detective by the name of Tom Horn. His only real tool of the trade was a sniper rifle, and he didn't have much regard for the law. Tom Horn went straight for the heart of my family. He gunned down Matt Rash at his cabin, the man my sister Ann was lately promised to marry. Both Ann and I were broken as we laid Matt Rash to rest. But as God is my witness, he wouldn't be the last one we laid in the ground that year.